Hi, everyone. Dr. Carolyn here. And today I'm going to be talking with you about the D's, I call it depression and despair. And, first, let me give you a definition. Despair is the absence or loss of hope. And it is something that a lot of people are experiencing right now. So it's basically hopelessness. Are you experiencing it? Because I know I'm talking to a lot of my patients, and I know from time to time as well that I've been experiencing that sense of, nothing matters. Why are we doing this? Why isn't all of this over? Why are we still dealing with the pandemic? Why are we still isolated? All of those things can, wear us down. So if you're experiencing that, that's what I want to talk to you about today. The sources of despair can be a lot of different things. It can come after a loss, and a lot of people have lost relatives, loved ones, coworkers during the pandemic. It can come from other natural losses, like death of a grandparent, or death of a beloved pet. That's another big one. And it can also be caused by just battling situations in your life where you just feel like you're constantly having to fight your way out of one thing or another. And everything just seems so overwhelmingly hard. It seems like you just can't catch a break. So if you've had that feeling before, I'm with you. Wow, I've had that feeling too. So despair and depression can occur together, and they can be exacerbated by loneliness. And actually, 20% of all Americans are experiencing loneliness right now. And this has been increasing during the pandemic quarantine. So, have you lost hope? Then that's the question that you want to ask yourself, and that I'm asking you. If you've struggled with binge eating, emotional eating, or food addiction for some time, that may be another battle that just is feeling really overwhelming and kind of like, am I ever going to conquer this? Am I ever going to get over this? And then on top of that, all the other stuff that's happening, whether it be in your personal life or in society, can just pile on and make you feel like, wow, I just don't even feel like trying anymore. Um, so you may also feel that that you're a failure, that you're helpless, that there's no hope that you'll ever be able to really get free of binge eating, compulsive overeating, emotional eating, or food addiction. Or maybe you've been on the diet treadmill all your life, and you just again feel hopeless that your food and body image issues will ever change to your satisfaction. And this kind of this train of thought, these feelings of being overwhelmed, can negatively affect your self-esteem and your sense of self-worth. Also, you may not know that hopelessness has repeatedly been shown in research to affect your overall physical and mental health and well-being. So if you have high levels of hopelessness and despair in your life, you're much more likely, for example, to develop high blood pressure, heart disease, or even to have a stroke. Now, this can make you feel trapped and overwhelmed, and hopelessness and despair can make it feel like it's useless to even work on making peace with food and with your body. Or it may lead to you falling back into the same kind of default behaviors that you've had for some time, just, feeling like, well, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Why should I even try? I might as well just eat. So it takes a lot of courage and stamina and resilience to face all of these challenges. And I know it's not easy. It has not been easy for me. And I feel like I'm a pretty strong person. One of my favorite authors, though, is Viktor Frankl, who was in the Holocaust many years ago, and he was a psychiatrist, and he wrote a book on the meaning of life. And he said that if you have purposeful work, love, and courage in the face of life's difficulties, your life will have meaning, which can also decrease hopelessness and despair. And I know for many of us, maybe you have purposeful life, but maybe you're not feeling that you have uh, enough love or connection. I think more than even love, but just connection with people, because many of us are still stuck in isolation or feeling afraid to really re-engage with the broader society because of the ongoing threats to our health. So you can find meaning in many aspects of your life, and you can also find meaning in suffering. And Viktor Frankl says the way in which you address suffering in your life is what gives life its meaning. So if your life feels out of control, or you're feeling just stressed to the max and backed into a corner with nowhere to go, I would encourage you to remember that you still have the freedom to choose how you respond to the situations that you find yourself in. And sometimes the choice is just to lay on the couch for a day and binge watch your favorite TV show. And that's okay too. So don't beat yourself up if you're not like a powerhouse of accomplishment every single day, all day. As you choose how to respond, you may have to dig deep for the courage to heal. And part of that may be caring for yourself, just feeling the need to, or feeling the love for yourself, really. But even if you're not able to say that you love yourself, just feeling the need to survive. And what can you do to reduce hopelessness? Well, the best way to do that is by nourishing your spirit. Hopelessness and despair come from spiritual depletion. So I'm going to give you a little homework exercise that you can use to determine whether or not you may be experiencing spiritual depletion and what the causes of this depletion can be. So the first exercise, I'm going to say out some causes of spiritual depletion signs and see if you can identify the ones that you are currently experiencing. So are you experiencing melancholy or despair? Feeling tired for no reason, a lack of joy in your life, inability to make decisions, chronic negativity, addiction or abuse of food or other substances, feeling alone and isolated, trouble with motivation, restlessness, feeling that nothing matters. Wow, I think I can check most of those things on the list. Maybe not every single day, but a lot of days I feel all of them. And some days I feel some of them. And then there are those good days that we look forward to. But just recognize those are symptoms of spiritual depletion. Okay, the second exercise, I'm going to again read off causes of despair and spiritual depletion. So one cause is chronic stress. Things that can be chronically stressful could be illness in a loved one or in yourself. So if you're maybe you, like me, have had COVID and you're experiencing long haul symptoms, I find that incredibly difficult and challenging on an ongoing basis to still not have recovered my health fully. So other forms of chronic stress could be work-related stressors. It could be relationship stressors. It could be financial stressors, and the list goes on. So if you're experiencing chronic stress, that can lead to spiritual depletion. Other causes of spiritual depletion include grief or loss, chronic illness, sudden changes in your life, and who hasn't had those over the last 2 years, isolation or lack of social support. And there can be others. So nourishing your spirit is not something we're taught in school or taught by our parents to do, but it should be a part of your daily routines. It shouldn't just be something you're thinking about or reading self-help books about. For example, you can read a book about meditation, but you don't get the same benefit you would if you actually meditated. So if you find yourself feeling hopeless or in despair, think back over the situation or circumstances that have led to this feeling of hopelessness or despair. Are these situations ones that you can let go of? So maybe you didn't get a promotion at work, or maybe you had a fight in your relationship, or maybe there was an issue in a friendship. Are these situations ones you can let go of? Because the more that you can let go of, honestly let go of, and say, you know what, I feel I've said all I need to say, and so I'm going to just move on from that. If you can let go of those, that opens up space for you to nourish your spirit more. If you can't let go of those situations, you might want to seek professional counseling. And there is no shame in your game if you need to seek professional counseling. This is important for you to recognize that. I know that particularly in the Black community, where I come from, even in my own family, there is a lot of resistance to seeking professional help. But you won't know how well it helps you unless you try it. So I would encourage you to seek help. If money is a problem, look for maybe in your community, there are some community mental health clinics that offer low-cost counseling. There's there are resources available, and many therapists will take some discounted rates or give you a sliding scale. So don't give up on yourself. If you can't pay for professional counseling, seek out a minister or someone in your religious community or a counselor at school to talk to. Journal about what you're feeling. Make a pros and cons list about letting go of, like, what are the pros, what are the cons of letting go of these past hurts or losses or other causes of despair and spiritual depletion. And then increase your self-care, because that will nourish your spirit. Find activities to do that do replenish your spirit, make you feel good about yourself, make you feel rested. Take a nap, get a pedicure, get a massage, take a bubble bath, take a walk in nature, listen to music, spend time with friends. Those are things that will definitely nourish your spirit. And then using complementary and alternative therapies if possible. Many cities have acupuncture schools where you can go and get Chinese massage, Tui Na, it's called, or you can get acupuncture treatments, take supplements. I've talked before about using adaptogens such as ginseng or rhodiola rosea to help deal with stress. Even fish oil can help your body manage stress. Mindfulness, such as meditation, massage, yoga, all of those are self-care measures that can help nourish your spirit. Hopelessness and despair can be helped, and daily small actions are the key. If you do something every day, just even a little something like sitting in nature while you drink your first cup of coffee in the morning, sitting on your porch or on your patio, even if it's only for a few minutes each day, it will help you build a strong foundation to face all of these many challenges that most of us are facing right now, rather than having to use sandbags in the middle of a flood to stress up your depleted resources. So try out different things, practice them, and then continue to use them even before you get depleted. Or maybe you feel good for one day, still practice because you'll need it the next day. Keeping your spirit nourished is the best way to avoid the pain of falling into hopelessness and despair. I hope that helps. I know we're all struggling right now, so there should be a little bit of um, feel good feelings, knowing that we're all in this together. But I know there's a lot of division right now amongst people. There's a lot of fear, anger, and hopelessness and despair. So I wanted to address it directly, and I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you, and that if you know anyone else in your circles who is experiencing despair or hopelessness, or might benefit from listening to or watching this video, please feel free to share it. I also ask that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let us know if there's anything more you want to hear about. I want to tell you about a special offer that we have going on for a free copy of the Food Addiction Recovery Workbook, which is available now on my website. You can go to www.carolynrossmd.com, and that information will be in the show notes. So if you want to get a free copy of the Food Addiction Recovery Workbook, I will pay for the book. You just have to pay for postage. So please check that out, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.